Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa sallallahu ala nabiyil ummi bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. So we were in the discussion regarding this great Sahabi, Hazrat Suhail RA. We discussed Hudaybiyah, how the mushrikeen had barred the Muslims from entry. The man who finally came to negotiate on behalf of the mushrikeen and to refuse the Muslims' entry into Makkah Mukarramah was none other than Suhail ibn Amr. But now there was this truce. And in this period, there was ceasefire. There was no war to take place. And what did the Muslims do? Sahabar radiallahu anhum returned to Makkah Mukarramah. Obviously, they were disheartened. They were hurt. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching the ummah one very, very important lesson. That Allah does what is right at the right time. Hand ourselves over to Allah. Allah knows what is right. Allah does what is right. And Allah does it at the right time. Allah Ta'ala in the Quran Kareem says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا. Look into these verses, really amazing, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that if you have taqwa and uphold taqwa, Allah will definitely open your way, makhraja. And Allah will provide for you and open for you avenues from where you never expected it. Where you least expected it from, Allah Ta'ala's help will come from there. But Allah Ta'ala does say at the end of these verses, قَدْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. Allah Ta'ala does everything at the right time. Always remember, Allah Ta'ala doesn't come late. Allah's assistance, Allah's help comes at the right time. We should also study Surah 48 of the Quran Kareem. This is one of the latter revealed chapters of the Quran Kareem. But in sequence of Quran, Surah 48, Surah Al-Fath, to understand this incident of Hudaybiyah and the wisdom behind Allah Ta'ala's decisions. Amongst these verses, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala mentions those who never joined Rasulullah ﷺ on this journey. And there's some sort of reprimand on them. And in these verses, Allah Ta'ala even says that you will be given another opportunity, where Allah will give you a chance, and you will be given a chance to pass or fail. And in these verses, Allah Ta'ala gives the Muslims some of the wisdoms behind why Allah Ta'ala didn't allow them to battle on this occasion. Where Allah Ta'ala says, had it not been for mu'mineen, وَلَوْلَا رِجَالٌ مُؤْمِنُونَ وَنِسَاءٌ مُؤْمِنَاتٌ, had it not been for mu'mineen, mu'minat, people who had embraced Islam already in Makkah, and were a battle to take place that you would insist to perform the Umrah and see the Kaaba and so forth, they would have afflicted you great disgrace, ma'arra, because then you would have hurt the people that are innocent. And Muslims would have got hurt, and innocent people would have got hurt. And in this verse number 25, 26 and so forth, Allah Ta'ala says, لِيُدْخِلَ اللَّهُ فِي رَحْمَتِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. O Muslims, Allah Ta'ala wanted you to bear patience, go back to Medina, turn to Allah Ta'ala, and Allah Ta'ala wanted to give hidayah to the Meccan people. Allah Ta'ala wanted to place into His mercy. Allah Ta'ala wanted to encompass His mercy upon certain people who Allah wants hidayat for them. Subhanallah. So Muslims returned. Amongst the incidents that took place during this year now, this is the end of the 6th year after Hijrah, now 7th year. One event was Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam went with Sahaba to Khaybar. But prior to that, Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Sahaba to the kings of the world, to the different countries of the world. And these Sahaba went to invite these kings to Islam. So what we see was now there was peace, there was amnesty, no attack of the Meccans was anticipated. So Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam prepared his Sahaba to do what is goal and priority. And what is that? To invite every person to Islam. And Sahaba went to these countries. And we should study every Sahabi's journey to these kings. How did they interact with these rulers? How did they interact with the locals of those countries? Explaining to them Islam. Many of these countries were the superpowers of them days. The Persians and the Roman empires. And Sahaba radiallahu anhu accomplished and fulfilled this great responsibility and duty. And so many people embraced Islam. And this became a means of hidayah spreading to these countries. even after Rasulullah departed from this world. But this was the stepping stone. This was the seed. The seed was laid after Sulhul Hudaybiyah.